right, hello everybody. Welcome to 5 Minute Fridays. We are talking about this chapter one about oral language and listening comprehension and how important it is to reading comprehension. Today we're going to talk about 7 of the recommendations for making that shift that they discuss. And let's just jump right into it, see if any of these are something you guys might try in your classrooms. So the first one is making space for planned and incidental conversation. So we know this. We do this during turn and talks, morning greetings, transitions, giving them as much opportunity to talk as we can. And then another is asking quality questions. It's so important to really think about the questions we're asking students to make sure that we're capitalizing on the time that we have them with them. So giving the opportunities for those higher level thinking questions. Another is teachers of English language learners. We know this so much is providing wait time. They got to figure out what they want to say, especially our younger kids sometimes. And I liked they discussed teaching children to do this with their partners, is teaching them to let their partner think. Many times it's easy for them to quickly turn into Spanish when we ask them to talk to each other. So if we teach them to give their partners think time as well, that can help. Next is teaching with text sets to build content knowledge. So having books across the day, read aloud, shared reading, independent reading across the day in a certain topic can really help build that background knowledge and help bridge those things throughout their day. All right, then they also went a little deeper into 3 different suggestions, and one of them is the use of interesting words. And we know that our students specifically need extra help with vocabulary. And so one of their suggestions is using strong vocabulary with kids. Instead of asking them to come to the carpet, tell them to gather or assemble, like using those big words with them, they can handle it. And so remember to expose them. Exposing them now is an investment in their future reading comprehension down the road. Thinking of a way to keep a record of cool words that you guys discovered together, whether it's a chart, a bulletin board, an index card, a book, anything to collect those ideas. And then that just remembering that the more kids see, hear, and understand new words, it strengthens that language processing system that we talked about last week. And some of the ways to do that is by having kids listen to the words, saying them, feeling them, how they come out of their mouth is just important. Talking about definitions, getting them to talk about the definition of the partner, use of the words in a sentence, multiple meanings of the words, and matching sounds to spelling. They're all super important ways to help build vocabulary. Another is the interactive read aloud. And I know we all do read alouds all the time. We're elementary teachers. We love reading aloud. We know it's important. So making sure that we're choosing books that have great vocabulary and vocabulary worth exploring is important. Getting comfortable using a parenthetical explanation. So just being able to tell them what a word means so you don't have to stop the flow of a story and make a whole big lesson on it. And then planning meaningful conversations. This is maybe what makes a regular read aloud different from an interactive read aloud, is having times where you stop and they turn and talk. You talk as a class with high quality questions. That's probably the biggest difference with the interactive read aloud, and that just takes your read aloud up to the next little level. Their last suggestion is this idea of repeating and expanding, and it's basically a strategy you can use when you're having a conversation with a student to get them to say more and talk a little bit more and expand their oral language. The idea is that you engage them with a question, you listen to what they say, and you kind of repeat back in a natural way what they say, maybe fixing a mistake if they made something. And then you expand on it a little bit. You might include a new word or a phrase, and then you kind of go back and begin the process again with another question to get them talking again. You could do this during a read aloud, during a conversation, anytime. In the beginning, it feels kind of weird, but the idea is just to engage and to be able to introduce some of that new language. All right, so these are some of the 7 recommendations that they made for this shift. Hopefully, there's something in here that you'll be able to try in your new classroom. Feel free to go to the Padlet on the website and let us know what you're thinking. I know we do many of these things, but maybe even just being more intentional about one of them might be a big improvement. So next week we'll be talking about phonemic awareness. See you guys then.